In this video, I'm going to talk about conflicts in relationships, and it's one of those areas that all human beings have. I'm sure that you in your life have had your fair share of conflicts, and if you are suffering from stress, anxiety, unhappiness, resentments, anger, frustrations, then it's likely that you've got quite a lot of conflict going on in your life. And what we have to do is to find a way to separate from that conflict. That's first, to be able to take the feelings that we have around that and to separate from them. That's the first thing, so that we're not in reaction. So somebody does something to you and you go into a place of rage and anger. No, no, somebody does something to you, that is their action. The way that you feel about it is nothing to do with the action that they have taken. It is actually a choice, and I know this is really challenging for us, because if we have a habit, if we've got a pattern of reacting to people, places and things that we don't like, then the default position is to go to rage, blame, anger, resentment. And what I'm saying here is actually to let that go. Now, one of the things, as you begin to separate from those feelings, that you can then do, if you take the stance that I do, if you follow the thinking, the belief the knowledge that I have, then that we are 100% responsible for everything that happens to us. If there is conflict, and this is a real biggie, this is huge actually, this concept, not for the faint-hearted, then every single thing in my consciousness is something that I am actually creating. Now that is a big leap when you think about, okay, there's a typhoon in, wherever, the Caribbean or South America, and you mean I'm responsible for that? And I know that is a really big question. And I'm not even going to attempt to answer it. I'm just going to ask that you think about that question. And we're going to bring it down to a slightly more personal level, so that you feel that you do have some control over it, which is to do with conflicts in relationships. Now, when somebody is doing something to you to hurt you, that you are perceiving that it is dysfunctional behavior, let's say, that is in your consciousness, that person is coming actually from a place of pain within themselves. If you take that person that has done whatever it is that they've done to you, and you think about that person, and you really go to that person, and you think, what is making this person behave in such a dreadful way to me? You will know that person is not feeling good in their lives. Somebody who goes out and murders somebody is not feeling good. That is a miserable, the lowest possible state of being. That person is bleeding, is hurting, is desperate. So if somebody is doing something to hurt you, I'm not suggesting you go out there and try to sort it out on the physical plane. What I'm suggesting here is that you go into the superconscious mind and you go to that person and you offer your hand. And of course, in your mind, they may very well reject it, in which case you have to go a little bit deeper. You have to go to a slightly deeper level of consciousness as to feel their pain. So let's do it now. Just think of somebody that you have had conflict with, who's maybe behaving, really badly towards you, and know that person is in pain, and just go to that person, be with them. Perhaps don't say anything, just silently send them love, send them compassion. Just say to them, you're not going to condone what they're doing. You're not going to say that it's all right the way they behaved. You're never going to do that. You're just going to say, okay, on a super conscious level, I understand what's happening here. I understand that you're really hurting. I understand that you had a shit time, that things have really been rubbish for you. And I send you my compassion. And you hear occasionally in the news, you hear wonderful people who have had the most devastating thing happen to them. Maybe they've lost a child, or something dreadful has happened, and you hear one or two amazing people who say, you know what, I'm going to give my compassion to who did this to me, who did this to our family. I know that that person was suffering, and that indeed is the truth. And again, at the superconscious level, if we are able to do this, no thought energy is wasted. It will have an effect. It does have an effect. And so I encourage you in your quiet time today to actually go there with somebody that has been giving you an issue, giving you a problem, and send them your compassion, send them your love, because it will raise your vibration. It will lead to your growth, and it will lead to your self-development and more things, more positive things coming to you.